Hey, what's going on, guys? So I got a package in the mail from Canada, and it's on this little Buck and Bear knife here. All right, so the story is a viewer named Robert, and by the way, I didn't know Robert was in Canada. He sent me a message, and he said he had this cool little Buck and Bear knife, but he had an issue with it, and when he tried to take it apart, he kind of messed things up a little bit. And at some point he had contacted Buck and Bear and they replaced it. So he wanted to know if he can ship it off to me to see if I could, you know, kind of square it away a little bit. I think maybe the washer inside was missing or squished or something like that happened. But I said, yeah, sure. So that's what this video is. So as of right now, it's very, very stiff to open. All right, this one normally has a nail nick on there, but it's very stiff. When it's opened all the way, it does not actually lock up. This is supposed to be a frame lock. All right, so I am going to go ahead and take this guy apart and see if I can figure out what's going on. All right, so we're back, and by we I mean me. It's been almost an hour trying to get this knife apart. So we have two body screws, right, on either side, and then we have a post. Let me show you this. And I just cannot for the life of me get this off. So I used two Torx drivers, so I basically have them on either side, but one kept slipping, the other one was biting a little better. My one Torx bit is a little stripped. So I was able to get one screw head off of each side, and eventually took my Leatherman, and I was able to grab the post. So like I couldn't use the bits, right, together. It just kept falling and falling and falling. So I ended up going inside the frame here, and I used the tip of the needle nose, or the needle nose pliers here. And then I came in with my Torx, and I was able to finally get two of them off. All right, so what we discovered underneath, we have our blade, which came out. Cool little Damascus blade. All right, and there was 4 washers. And also this little standoff pin, which I can't lose. All right, there's the pivot screw. There's 2 body screws. So there's 4 washers here. Now there's the small washers and these large washers, and both large ones were on the same side. All right, so when the knife was put back together, I think that's all that happened, was it kind of threw everything off. At least that's what I'm hoping. So we're gonna see if we can fix it by just putting these 2 big ones in. I don't know if the small ones are super necessary. So for now, I'm just, oh, that's the back of our pivot screw. Put that in. Let's hold it so it doesn't fall out. All right, pop that guy on. Pop our blade on. Put the other big one on. And we'll see if there's any play or anything. I'll put those small ones back on as well. Yeah, so the other one, like I much prefer when they go into the body and not have like a post, you know, with 2 heads on either side. It's like the worst design to do this with. Like just take apart and put back together. All right, so I'll tighten those if this works out. Right now it's open and locked. Locked. Not right away though. Let's adjust this pivot. Make sure that's not loosey-goosey. Is this back spinning? Let me hold that. Okay, yeah, it was spinning. All right. Knife opens and locks. Are we good? Is it rubbing? It's off to one side. Pretty hardcore. Let's adjust this pivot again. I didn't want it to be too tight, obviously, so it wouldn't move. Now it's pretty tight. But it won't lock. What the heck? If I push it over, it'll lock. I want it to naturally lock. Oh, it locked. All right, let's see. No, it's rubbing. It's on this front side way too much. Is that because? Well, because this body screw. Let me go ahead and take this. I'm gonna get the pliers and hold this and tighten the body screws how I took them off. All right, so I got it back together. It's nice and tight. However, it's still a no-go. It's not locking up every time. And really, there's way too much play in this blade. So those other little skinny washers will have to go in. So I'm gonna take this apart. We'll pop the other washers in, and then I'll come back and we'll see what that did. All right, so it's back open. I have the large washer against the back of that frame. Let's put the little one on top of it. All right, and then the little one on this side underneath the big one. So it's big, little, blade, and then little, big. If that makes sense. I think that makes the most sense as far as the order. I'm not sure what it's actually supposed to be. Hopefully that's what it was. All right, so wait, why do I have two? What is this, a magic trick? Did I not just put the big one back there? Yeah, no, big one. Was there 4 originally? Well, that's weird. There's definitely 2 big ones. They're like multiplying. Oh, I don't know if there was there 6 washers originally? Maybe this came with too many washers? I don't know. That's weird. All right, so 1 big one, little one, blade, little guy, all right, and big guy. Not sure why there's another one there randomly. All right, let's see what that does. And make sure that stop pin is there. Make sure everything is together. All right, it's all the way back together again. It's still riding all the way to the right. All right, and that time it locked up, but it doesn't always lock up. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to take this apart again, and I'm going to put maybe one, I don't know, I might put one small washer on this side, and I'm going to put the rest of the washers on the right side to maybe push this blade over and center it. I don't know, again, how this originally was, but something is up here. I don't get it. Just kind of strange. There we go. It opened and locked. Now, like if I push it over, if I center it and open it, it locks, usually. At least in playing with this. When I just open it, you know, and have it more to that right side, it doesn't lock. If I push downward pressure on it and open it, that's when it locks. So this blade definitely needs to be pushed over. Ugh, frustrating. If you've ever taken a knife apart and didn't just put it immediately back together, you know what this feels like. This is like the worst. All right, and the older I get, the more I have like carpal tunnel. Like legit carpal tunnel, my fingers hurt, you know, from pressing and squeezing and all that kind of stuff. So not so much fun, but I am determined to get this to work. So I'll be back. We'll see if all the washers jammed on this side helps anything. All right, I think we're finally done here. All right, so I have 3 washers on the right, 1 little washer on the left. I was able to somewhat center this. It's not absolutely perfect, but it's not rubbing anymore. All right, when you open it, it locks. All right, open, it locks. Wonderful. I was playing around with this lock bar as well. The lock bar seemed to be, it was pushing, it had a lot of pressure that way, so I kind of hyperextended it just a little bit so it had less pressure pushing the blade upward. So at least the knife's functional now. My only other problem is that this body screw won't go in. I've tried this multiple times. It just won't thread all the way down. So I got to work on that because that's bothering me. All right, success. Finally got the body screw to be the same as the other ones. Is it still lined up? Does it still lock? Yes, it does. All right, so we now have a functional knife, albeit a little more scratched up. I think I scratched it twice, sliding off the little bit, but man, what a little bugger. Interesting, cool little Damascus blade though. I like Boker Knives, right? This one here has a core, so I didn't look this up, but you could see the center, which might be like a VG10 or something like that, that darker line down the middle, and then Damascus on either side. Pretty neat though. So I appreciate the challenge. You know, like I said, I don't always love playing around with knives and fixing them all the time. It's, you know, it's kind of a mood thing. It's just like sharpening. Like I could really, really get into and love knife sharpening, but honestly, most of the time for me now, because I've done it for so many years, it's just a hassle. Taking the stuff out, I have beautiful systems and you know, nice parts to work with and different stones and all kinds of stuff, right? But, you know, drag it all out, you know, line it all up. I have to put it in a spot where I'm not going to get things too dirty. And then the actual action of sharpening everything and then packing everything up and cleaning all the dust off everything. Like I said, if it's a high-end knife or something, I still get pleasure if I have the time to allot to that particular sharpening job. Otherwise, it's pain. It's a pain. It's just like, I don't know, putting air in your tires or getting it all changed. It's just maintenance. Sometimes you just have to do it. Sometimes I get joy out of it, sometimes I don't. But regardless, whether I'm sharpening knives or getting an oil change, I always feel good afterwards. I know that. Even if I'm having a hard time while it's happening, I always feel relief when I'm done. So that's a good thing. So anyway, that's it. That was today's project. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Let me know down in the comment section if you have any Buck and Bear knives. Be curious. I still have one of their kitchen knives I still use to this day. So I've had that many, many years. Anyway, that's all. Have a good one, guys. See you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.